Hey, Cannapreneurs. Before we get started with today's show, I just want to mention one of our sponsors because it really does cost a little bit of money to get a radio show, a podcast, a video production, social media, a website. Everything that's included in bringing you this show requires a little bit of investment, and our sponsors have stepped up and done that for us. Today, I want to highlight Derry Berry's Recording Studio. Derry Berry's Recording Studio, located in Arvada, Colorado, is your local recording studio with affordable rates, well experienced, and will make your music, your show, or any audio you have sound great. Take a look at Derry Berry's recordingstudio.com or give Mark a call at 303-456-8216. Thanks again to all of our sponsors. Now on to the show. Open up, Colorado. It's 420. Time to grind and burn.
This is not your son's stoner show.
Welcome back, family, friends, fellow Cannapreneurs. Welcome to the Cannabis Community Project, here for another weekly podcast from the CCP studios high up in Denver, Colorado. Here exploring the business side of this newly emerging Colorado economy, focusing on the business, the patient, the retailer, to the geek in the garage creating that next innovation. This is the first media platform to help fellow Cannapreneurs just like you build sustainable businesses while living the lifestyle. Welcome back, friends that are listening for the first time. Welcome to the Cannabis Community Project. It's been a busy week. We have done 3 events, 4 interviews, and I think I've restructured the website twice, all in the last week and a half or so. So it's been a busy week, but that's good because that means we're growing and that means we're bringing new and better content to you. I was out Monday night hanging out at All-Time High networking event. Thank you, Ari Love, for putting that together. That was a great event. I'm going to bring that to you next week, talk a little bit about it. Wednesday, we also went to Weed Wipes Wednesday. That was very interesting, and I'm going to hold off talking about that because I'm going to go back and sit down with the owner and founder, Jim Berry, do a full interview about the company, and then bring that back before we go into the Weed Wipes Wednesday. But I was out there, and we did a blog post about it. Hey, speaking of the blog post, what do you guys think of Syndicate? Is he doing his job or what? He's keeping up there with those blog posts, getting new content out, I would say pretty consistently, getting the information that needs to be out there, keeping up on a weekly basis, and he's learning and working with it. And that's all I can really ask, is that he's passionate about what he does, and he just keeps making it better. Hey, if you like to write, you're a blogger, you have something to say in this industry, and you're looking for a platform, join us right on the blog. You will have a spot just like Syndicate to post your articles, your postings, your information, your channel just for you. I also extend that offer out to anybody who would like to be on air on the microphone, who has a word or two to say to the audience. You got a product or a business or something else that would be somewhat compelling for this cannabis community to hear about, contact me because I have so much to get to that I don't even know where to start. So I'm just recording everybody. I'm recording everybody and I'm banking it on my flash drive, all those files. I'm going to bring them to you little by little. My goal is to eventually turn this into a twice a week show so I can double the content and the frequency and really make this happen full time. I'm still a little ways off from that, a few months or so. We got to do things in time. In place, right? Patience is really what I've been learning this week, is how to be patient. You know what you want, you know where you're going, and you just got to be patient. And that's one of the themes as I listen to some of these interviews that I've had this week that I've heard reflected over and over is patience, that they're just trucking forward one by one. So this week we're going to bring you all sorts of stuff. I got some clips. I also have some interviews from an up and coming entrepreneur creating an online web app to meet friends, meet buds. You got a buddy? You got a buddy? You got a buddy? Somebody you smoke with? Somebody you hang out with? You don't? Well, maybe you should hear this guy's story because he's got an app that, no, it's not a dating app, and it's not the other kind of buddy where you like, swipe to the left, swipe to the right type thing and you hook up for that reason. No, this is purely to hang out and enjoy some cannabis interaction. We're going to hear from him, and let's just jump right in before too much time passes. We got a lot to get to. I want to make sure you hear it all. Like always, let's go back very quickly to last week's short-term memory flashback relapse just to get a couple minutes of last week's show, and then we'll dive on into this week's Cannabis Community Project. Let's record a bit. So we're sitting here talking to syndicates. Associate producer of the Cannabis Community Project, Cannabis Community News, news director, associate producer, all-around handyman from what I'm learning. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Sitting down in the new, revamped, remodeled CCP studios. Have a little chat, learn about who you are a little bit more, deliver some news to us, and talk about the upcoming shows over the next year as you work into this.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, when you start getting yourself up there in income tax brackets, it starts costing more and more. You got to incorporate your ass and show a loss for a while so that more or less you're gaining assets and improving infrastructures or something like that. I don't know. Like you're saying on somebody's $10,000 loan that they're going to put towards a new house or paying off credit cards.
Right. But it's all from individual funds. It's like a crowdfunding type situation.
That's can't wait to get into. So if you can ever come up with some cash, or if we get a nice little...
It's a simple equation with the business and the show here. When the show gets cash, I have cash.
Yeah.
It doesn't go the other way around. It doesn't go I have cash and then the show has cash.
Yeah.
We can take some of my sponsored products now.
Yeah.
Do some direct sales to people. Become pitchmen. Now that you have a show, you have an excuse to, hey, can I come see what you're doing and how you're doing it?
Oh, yeah. And one day even be invited. I mean, that's the thing. Is right now we're small enough where it still takes a lot of talking and finagling. People are like, who? But, I mean, honestly, I think you got a potential to hit that threshold. And that just takes a presence, a growing presence. Sooner or later, people are going to be like, oh, I know you dudes. Yeah. And then sooner or later, people are going to call you and go, hey, we got something going on. Please come down here. And that's where it changes. You know, I'm not content with a lot of things. I see a lot of things falling apart in this world. I don't want to be too specific, but yeah, it's hard to make a good buck. I'm a firm believer in you got to kind of do it yourself. And so I love seeing the cannapreneurs and the hempreneurs and all those type of people getting out there and doing their thing, because these people are kind of creating something.
Well,
right
we'll just
now.
call them all cannapreneurs, since hemp is also under cannabis.
Yep.
And keep a single brand on that word that we're coining. But I've always been attracted to audio and visual, obviously, like the whole world. But audio to me has always had a personal relationship. I was always the kid late at night putting on my Walkman headphones, turning on the FM radio and listening to pirate radio all the way till midnight. Just me under the covers late at night listening to pirate radio. 96.9. Big dog. Let's take some pictures of the CCP studios. Let's take an intermission for 10 seconds.
The intermission.
Or do you not want to show your face?
Not to me. I don't do faces. You do the back of my head.
It's like a bad porn contract.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you have an idea, a business, perhaps just some thoughts about cannabis, contact me. I want to hear from you. I want to discuss these issues: health, food, music, growing, technology, business, everything else.
You deserve more. Herbbox is here to give you more. Fortunately, the cannabis laws and stereotypes are slowly being changed. Herbbox is a medical and recreational cannabis container that brings style and fashionable credibility to the cannabis community and movement. Check out our website at herbbox.com, which is HERBBOXX.com. Accessories say a lot about a person, and Herbbox says that you are exquisite and superior. Cheers.
CCP.
Awesome. So Ari Love here with All Time High Events Company. What we do basically is host events. We host our own events. Right now we're at Lifetime Buds. It's a social networking event that we're doing twice a month. So the first and third Mondays of the month, you can come out, socialize with people in the industry, in the cannabis community, mostly business professionals, business owners, people who work in the dispensaries, bud tenders, what have you. If you're looking to get in the industry, we're good to come through as well. So this is the fourth of the Lifetime Bud series. The next event, we're going to be in a new location. So we've been at one location at 7 Life House here in the Rhino District. It is intentional just to keep moving, to bring out the vibrancy in different places and to showcase different local areas that aren't touched enough, or even local talent, like when I bring in jazz bands or artists from around the area.
What is your core business?
It is event planning for the cannabis industry. So the main idea is to be hosting as the event planner, coordinator, organizer, and on-site coordinator for larger events, all private mostly, in the cannabis sector. So if you are a large company and you have over 75 employees and you want to host something just for them, I can do that party for you. I can organize it. It's a headache to do. So I'll take all the pieces, put it all together, set everything up. Not only do I make all the calls and make sure it happens, we run all the way through the event and engage in what your vision is so that you can be hands-off and you can be in your business talking to the people that you invited. Instead of acting as an event host, you are literally the host where you get to engage with everybody and your guests. So the business was conceived in October. We actually started hosting our parties in July. And so we've been about 2 or 3 months in, started with some larger festivals that I was just coordinating on the team of, but now we're moving into our own events and we're finally at that place. So we're open. My background is in hospitality. I worked as a bartender, server. I've worked in catering companies, banquets, done in-home parties, and managed at a hotel downtown. So there's a lot.
You know how to make it happen. You know how to
I know how to deal with chaos.
Is that what party planning is?
That's what party planning is.
I'm Brandon Shepard with the Motopod. We're going to make some cannabis butter, and then we're going to throw it into Cannibals brand baking mix, and then we're going to make some brownies. Simply just put your herbs, your decarboxylated herbs into the machine, 1 stick of butter in the bottom, a little bit of water, throw it on the stovetop, and 10 minutes later you got infused butter.
Hey, how we doing? My name is Jay Griffin. Thanks for having us down here today. I am part owner of a very popular dispensary called Dank in Park Hill. And since 2014, we also started up the Denver Consulting Group, which is a consulting cannabis industry consultant, and we provide standard operating procedures, handbooks, training, and CannaScore compliancy audits to facilities around Colorado and across the United States. Well, certainly online is the best spot, as we utilize Facebook and Twitter and Instagram quite a bit. We're going to be under Dank, the dispensary. It's Dank, Colorado, and our consultant group is Denver Consulting Group. And my name is Jay Griffin. Thanks for having me.
My name is Amy Rohr, and I am the owner of High Urban Hikes Denver. On Friday night, I took 8 women from the organization Women Grow here in Denver, and I took them on my Toxic Schizophrenia Twilight Tour, which is a happy hour tour that starts at the Denver Art Museum and kind of tucks in and out of the streets, telling salacious stories about Denver, Denver history, Denver characters, and then also stopping by places like the Gates of Hell and some of the oldest houses that's right in the middle of downtown, and little secrets that people don't even know about. And then we ended up at the Museum of Contemporary Art, where we had great high talks about everything you can imagine. It is a walking tour. It ends up being about 3 miles, and it ends up being about 3 hours. But we do take a couple of stops, sometimes a longer one, depending on how hungry people are. But one of them is my Pot is Patriotic tour, which is a downtown tour about how Denver developed and why actually using cannabis is a patriotic thing to do, and why it was before, the end of World War II, was actually an official patriotic thing to do, to grow hemp. So we talk about history in all different ways. And I have the Toxic Schizophrenia one I just told you. And then I have another one called Vertical Time that goes to Curtis Park. I actually still have a real job, but I'm working my way out of it as quickly as possible. I have a political consultancy. That's my day job, right? I'm not really the politician. I just tie up all the things that have to be tied up in order for the politicians to do their thing. Gosh, it's been amazing, the people that have been on this, tourists and locals. But the tourists have come largely from Louisiana, Florida, and Texas at this point. They are usually extremely curious and intellectual people themselves. So they're drawn. So obviously whatever information I'm putting out lets them know that, we're going to have philosophical conversations about who owns civic space, or we're going to talk about what baggage we're willing to bring into the next, emotional baggage we're willing to bring into the next year, because it'll tie into the baggage at Union Station that they have for decoration around there. We'll talk about the revitalization of a building like Union Station, and we'll talk about boom and bust. Denver's been through 100 booms and busts. Now we're in the pot-com boom. What does that mean for us as a citizenry? How do we harness that energy? How do women rise in business? This is a big thing, because we're going to be able to do that in this industry in a way we haven't done before, and we should. The tours are $49. Unless we're going to the art museum, that one is $55. It does not come with any type of product. Tomorrow I'm going to put up my new fall tours, and they can go to HUH Denver, that's for High Urban Hikes, or you can go to highurbanhikes.com. They'll all point to the same place, but it's really Denver.com.
I'm Jim Berry with Weed Wipes, the natural resin remover. Weed Wipes is a new product that we don't have the word out yet. It's a product that competes against isopropyl alcohol because it's cheaper than ISO, more effective than ISO, yet is all natural to the point where I can eat it. As a matter of fact, we have 4 different kinds of brushes. We have a double-ended bong brush that's actually the workhorse. It's a big bristle end, small bristle for the pipe or stem, then a large oversized bong brush. But the other ones are a pipe brush, then a vape brush. These are the small ones to get in the small nooks and crannies. Once you go ahead and rinse it out with the hot water after you're done getting the main chunks out, it should be perfectly clean and ready to go immediately. As a matter of fact, since it's all natural oils, it can't hurt you in any way, shape, or form, even if it weren't. Rinse it out in hot water is all it takes. We all want to smoke out of the cleanest pipe simply because, man, that is the best tasting weed. So, every week I clean my pipe, but it works even better on a bong because you can use it in a water-based implement like a bong or hookah. Just a few drops in there, because it's all natural, flavorless, odorless, and inert. It will prevent the resin from ever sticking to the bong itself. You just smoke as much as you want and then rinse it in hot water. And just add a few more drops again for the next time. We have a new bottle, a drip bottle dispenser and a lower melting point. So it is now liquid all the time. it's a lot easier to use. Well, no matter what, because it is inert, it has to be moved around in some way. So use the brushes, use something, but yes, it is now more liquefied, so it actually gets in the crevices a little better. And if you have places that are really hard to reach, pour in a little more weed wipes, add a little salt, and shake it like the rest of my competitors do. We are based in Colorado. As a matter of fact, we're at 7630 West 25th Avenue, which is a private residence in Lakewood. Please go to weedwipes.com. You can see all of our products and see some videos on exactly how well they work. On Facebook, we have dozens of videos up. We're also on Twitter and most of the other social media sites. Just put in weed wipes. We come up pretty quick.
But we're not hippies, though. We're like tech hippies.
Hey, nice. Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, totally.
Coincide on the track. Dough. I put a shot. I put rum chata. Bro. 99 bottles. White 99 grape. I'm blow. I put a ganja. Shots of the vodka. Po. Anything for a little bit of fame and some change. Grab a gun if I sing. Born around a gang, talking slang, but I changed. I can change back like a dope addict, and you know that I'm dope at it. Make you panic or you paranoid. Now you ain't making no noise. Do you wonder if I planned it? It could have been your boys. It could have been your bride. Could have been your mom. CDs are dead. Hershey was bumping my shit while taking your sister to prom. Ring the alarm. Lyrical shots at your head. Fuck with a god and oops, careers are dead. Women and men, MCs, getting shanked by 16. I cannot call you a queen, only queen I know is Latifah and T, the reefer and weed. The liquor's in me. Go. I put a shot. I put rum chata. Bro. 99 bottles. Hold up. Now take one down. Stated than erase lines, plays off the baseline. Dope, call it cake time, baked off a dope boy. Soda like a coke boy. Enjoy smoking every joint like the competition. Anointed, rose red like the hairs on sticky. Not picky, I chinky, let me hit the sake. Could've matched my punchlines even if it copy. 1040 a copy. Haters can't stop me, no blocking. Wanna block me, no stopping. Smoke thick like frosting. Switch a roasting, fan toasting, exposing. Still rolling from the XXX representative. New elements, 12 Benjamins. Weed regimen, no regiment. I've been jamming since adolescence. No sense in a boat. I was destined for a blessing. Leave them guessing like a question. Did I mention? Ears glued like a toupee. Pay too regular like a pension. Smoking grade A, no stressing to occur. THC, perp, and the Hennessy, eyes blur. Got a lot to see, lot of victories. Popping looses, more turns than a spins. Too intense. Burning loose ends, lit like an incense. Two blunts and they both twins. Call them Olsen's. Dope. I put a shot. I put rum chata. Bro. 99 bottles. White 99 grape. I'm blow. I put a ganja. Shots of the vodka. Po. Hold up. Hold up. Now take one down. Throw back off a jack. Smoke like a blow match. Dope off a weed sack. Choking, split the pack of sticks. Open. Get focused, though, like a Super Bowl. Here I come, like a winter cold. Put your dinner fork as a pork. That sauce in the pot. That sauce in the pot. Be the Lord's connoisseur. Up in my Swiss shirt, snapping pictures of my lick.
Hey, Adam.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. This is out here in Denver, Cannabis Community Project. How you doing today?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
Well, I'm Adam Rich. I'm the CEO and founder of Buds Media and the creator of the Buds, a social networking app.
And it looks like, from what I can see, this is going to be an exclusive online app type business, correct?
Yeah, well, the application itself will be available through Google and through the Apple iStore. What we're also going to do is we're going to make the app available to people who are online who maybe don't, a lot of people have dinosaur phones nowadays. They can't access the things that smartphones can access. And we want to make it available to those users too. So we're going to have simultaneously a website that will act just like the app will, that users can go on and find people the way they want to find people.
And the way you have your short description listed is it's the world's first geosocial networking app for marijuana users. Wherever you are, you'll be able to jump online and find other users in your proximity to meet up with and hang out. Is that the end goal?
Absolutely, to meet and to smoke. We're from Washington, D.C., and here we don't have the regulations on sales and things like that for cannabis. So everything is based purely on what you give to someone else. So what we've done is we've taken that platform, which we fell in love with because we've always been in love with the idea of sharing. We moved it to something broader. We want people to share their cannabis with each other. We want people to share, events and whatever they want to do. But the problem that we found was that with all the apps that are out right now, they're all based on dating. It's all about loving and finding people to be with, or a girlfriend or things like that. Some people just don't want that. Some people just want to hang out and smoke. And, I happen to be one of them.
Right. Not to confuse this with, a Weed Maps or some other similar where you're looking for dispensaries or where to purchase. This is strictly a social networking of where to find like-minded people to hang out with, correct?
This is where to find someone to smoke with. I'm a firm believer that addicts use by themselves.
So if you're by yourself, you're an addict. If you're hanging out with your friend, you're just chilling and having a good time.
That's strictly personal opinion, but yeah, I love to smoke with people. I love to share, and I love to have a good time and meet people, new people, or hang out with old friends. And I just thought, what better way than to create an app where you can go out and we can do that, or you can be anywhere in the world and you can find someone to smoke with. You're never alone when you have buds. That's our motto around headquarters: is you're never alone when you have buds.
Well, I love the idea, and being here in Colorado, this might be a little more liberal of a use of an app. What about where you're from? Let us know where you're from and what the environment is like with being open about cannabis use.
Well, it's kind of an interesting environment here in D.C. because we're still new to it.
Washington, D.C.
We didn't even have Washington, D.C., yeah. We didn't have the medical marijuana instilled like Colorado and everywhere had, where it had been openly available for a period of time. We had medical marijuana become available, but then the regulations and the bureaucracy locked everything up for us. And then we had marijuana become legalized almost before the marijuana stores for the medical marijuana were open. So it was a really confusing time for the district. And now it's just starting to get a little bit better, but the problem is because you're surrounded by public parks and things like that, and these are federal territories, the laws are completely different. So you could be walking down the street and be perfectly fine, and you take 2 blocks over, and now you're on federal property and you're in violation of a law. It's a very scary place to live as far as recreational marijuana goes, but it's also a very exciting time.
Yeah, D.C., one of those different types of municipalities set up. It's not actually a structured state or a local municipality, and it's very small in its own geographic region.
And it's I think it's only like 5 miles, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just very different because we have 3 different justice systems all regulating the same area.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, especially when it comes to marijuana and things like that, because you have Maryland, which has legal medical marijuana, and you have District of Columbia that's done legal medical marijuana and then legal recreational marijuana. But it's like a finite line between the district and Maryland. There's no real definitive when you're out of the area. It's just dangerous. It's a very dangerous place to live currently.
Right. Well, I like this idea because even here in Colorado, we're struggling with some similar issues about where to consume outside of your own home. Here in Denver, they're still harassing and shutting down smoking lounges and places where people can go in with their own supply, but still shutting them down and harassing them. So I like this idea because it brings it on more of a personal, individualized level where it's not saying, hey, we're a smoking lounge that the public can come in. It's a one-to-one, a peer-to-peer type setup.
You are your smoking lounge.
Exactly, right? You are your smoking lounge, and the people you're collaborating with are not a structured business or some type of entity. It's literally somebody's living room, which makes it very difficult for the police to declare it as a business that's trying to operate or some other type of entity that they can raid and harass and do something else with. So how long development here with this?
I came up with the idea about 3 years ago, and then We launched it in 2014 as a full-fledged company, and it's just now here in 2015 that we've started to move forward with development. We started our first round of angel investing. That's gone well. We've been in contact with some very interesting and lucrative people who've invested in major social networks for marijuana like Mass Roots, and another app called Hi There, which is similar to ours. It's like a Tinder, but once again, that's back to that dating format that we're staying away from.
Right. There's this smoking-only app.
Exactly. Actually, when you log into the app, it's going to ask you, as soon as you log in, it'll ask you what you're doing today. Are you here to share, or are you looking for someone to smoke with? And then it'll take you, based on what you answer, it'll take you to a different search. If you have some cannabis and you want to share with people, you can add your sharing with people. And if you don't have any cannabis, but you're still looking for someone to hang out with, you just go to smoking, and it kind of streamlines for you.
And these are non-compensation type arrangements, right? It's not somebody saying, hey, I'm offering my living room for $10 an hour. Hey, I'll share.
No. This is not an Airbnb. This is not an AirPod.
That's a good way to look at it.
No.
Yeah.
No, what we are is we're just friends, just people meeting people, and then if you meet up with somebody, and it's just like when you used to back in the day with your friends, you meet somebody and maybe you say, hey, you want to share a bud with me here or there or whatever. But that's neither here nor there, and we don't hold any liability. If you choose to go purchase cannabis from someone you meet, that's completely on you. Our app is strictly for bringing people together, to find other people to smoke with, to hang out with, to go to concerts with. We're actually implementing another part of the app called broadcasting, where maybe I live in D.C., but I'm coming to the Denver area, and I can get on there and say I'll be in Denver in 3 hours. I can set up a post to let people know that I'll be in Denver in such and such time, and I'm looking for someone to smoke with. And then now, when you search in your area, you'll see my post and my profile as well. Perfect. And that'll only be, you can select how long you want that to be up for. So say maybe you're coming to a new town, you don't have any bud because you can't fly with it, and you don't have a ride. You get on Buds, you put a post up, and you find somebody.
This is essentially what I think anybody who travels is thinking about, because we all know the dangers and risks of traveling with product on you, and having the ability to meet like-minded people where you go is crucial. Now, I see the website's under construction, but is the app itself available in the Google Store and iTunes Store?
We're in development right now, but it is a very, very testy project. We've actually had to fire 3 developers already because they're not producing. Uh-oh. And unfortunately, everything in the network market is outsourced nowadays. Everything we're doing is overseas currently. There's been a loss in translation. But we are in the process of getting the app together. We have a new developer. We have a new website developer that will be pushing up the Buds webpage so that people will be able to do everything they can do on the app, on the webpage, and that'll be out as soon as October.
Okay, of this year, coming up, just a couple months.
This year.
So help us understand how you go about searching for seed money before having a live product on the market.
It's a challenge. It has definitely been a challenge. Luckily, we have a lot of connections and things like that. I've worked in the marijuana industry for a long time. I have friends who've worked in the marijuana and music industry for a long time. And what we've done is we found some major endorsements. We've done some work with, we're getting Taylor Gang to put together an exclusive song for the Buds app. That'll be the Buds premiere song. And we're working with Raw Papers currently to get an endorsement with them to make them the official rolling paper of the Buds app. And then kind of piggybacking off of that, take our endorsements and our connections and show people that we have a following and there's an interest. The money will come.
Where are these seed investors coming from? From within the industry or outside, who are just standard angel investors or people working within the financial industry looking towards this industry? Or are they pre-existing people like some of these companies you're talking about who already have products and businesses in the industry?
A lot of it is cannabis-based business. Obviously, we don't have any banking systems or anything like that, so we can't proceed any formal loans. But what we can do is we go through these different things. Like I use CannaFunder. I don't know if you're familiar with that. They're a cannabis funding, seed and investment website, and it helps me get in touch with people who are already interested in investing in the cannabis industry. dispensary and moving on from there, because a lot of people just aren't willing to make the investment. They don't know which way it's going to go federally. They don't know which way it's going to go as far as the banking system goes. And nobody wants to put their money into something they may not be able to get it back out.
How much do you ask for? What is your initial asking amount that you need to get going?
Well, my initial asking was $100,000. That would keep me out of work and allowed to work on this, entirely and put my full focus into it. And that would allow me to pay off the rest of the development I need to get done. But our projected offering at this point, what they're looking at offering, is anywhere between 1.5 and 3 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what we're looking to raise, but that'll be our third round of investing. So around second or third quarter of 2016.
And are you the sole proprietor in this, or is there a group of individuals who have ownership in this company?
I am the CEO and founder. I brought my friend with me, one of my best friends growing up. I brought him with me on the idea, so he's the co-founder. But other than that, we have our technical team. But as far as ownership goes, I am the sole owner of the company.
What do you offer investors? Do you offer them equity percentage? Do you offer them products, advertising exchange? What is the exact bartering that you're doing to get this funded and moving forward?
Well, because we haven't actually locked in any investment to date, I don't really want to speak on anything that we might be expecting or what we're going to expect and make myself into a liar. But what I will say is what we look for is we're looking for someone who's willing to put the capital into it and seize the market. I mean, the marijuana industry to date is anywhere between $35 and $40 billion legally. And that's, between Washington, Oregon, Colorado, the district.
Right.
So we're looking at that amount. You take 7 or 8% of that in advertising, you're looking at about $459 million in advertising revenue. And that's where we stand to make our money back. The Buds app will have a Premier service for local businesses and things like that. You pay for an account, a Premier account, and your business will be listed in kind of a yellow page, similar to a Leafly or a Weed Maps or something like that. But instead of where Leafly you can search, but you kind of search based on an area, what we're going to do is make it so that when you get on there, it shows you what's around, what is in your direct vicinity. The other thing we're able to do by doing that is we're able to actually advertise to people based on where they are. So if you're a block away from a cannabis dispensary, we can actually project those advertisements to you from that dispensary, and they can pay for that specific user. And it makes the money a little bit more worth it. It lowers the amount you're paying per person to get through the door as far as advertising goes, because everybody we're advertising to is right there in front of your store.
Right.
So.
Now, did you have to write up a complete business plan like any other business? Are you making formal pitches like Shark Tank style?
We do. We have a formal business plan, 30 pages with a 10-page appendix, and then we have a pitch deck, which is something separate. It's like a PDF document that's very basic, and it just goes through exactly what we do and exactly what we are. It has screenshots of the app. It has our projected income, our total social media reach currently, and things like that. And we send both. Whenever we see an investor that we're interested in or somebody that we want to try to get the attention of, we send both of those out, the business plan and the pitch deck, and see what they think. And we've gotten some positive results by that.
And is this something you would say that anybody going into, whether it's a product or a service, but anybody going into some type of money pitch, you got to have a business plan prepared and you got to have your pitch prepared?
Absolutely. You have to have your business plan prepared and you have to have your pitch prepared, because at the end of the day, these people want to know where your money's going. They want to know where, if they give you this money, they want to know where it's going. And that's what a business plan does, is it breaks down exactly where the money's going and exactly how it comes back. And if you don't have that, you're not going to get the money.
So which of the three would you say is the most difficult? Developing the product, finding people to invest in the product, or actually bringing it to market and getting the market to buy the product?
Well, from my personal experience, it's been development. It's really easy to create an idea, and it's really easy to sell a great idea to somebody. I mean, this application is a great idea, and it's a market that hasn't been touched yet. So as far as selling it to investors and selling it to people, I don't have a problem with it. The problem has been actually developing the product, because technology is an ever-changing market, and it seems like by the time we get one part of it developed, we have to go back and change something else because there's been a new update or there's been a change here. And then we have to make it cross-compatible. So we have to map every format and resolution they have out there available to make sure that it's streamlined and that it works the same for everybody. So,
and this is where the money pit with developers and the IT team comes in, is that it's a ever-changing, constantly growing, expanding, reworking infrastructure.
Yeah, it is. The technology system is a lot like owning a boat. You know, they say boats are holes in the water that you throw money into. So.
That's funny. So what is your actual marketing plan? Because, I mean, obviously apps is nothing new, but highly competitive. And then we narrow it down to cannabis industry, and there's a few apps. You mentioned a couple similar area. What is the actual plan to go out there and market this, break through the noise, get a hold of the people you want to get a hold of, cut out the competitors or the confusion of those who think they're competitors? What are you envisioning for the marketing of this?
Well, we're going to find stoners the best way to find stoners. We're going to throw parties. We are throwing parties. We're hosting a college tour, and we're going to travel from college to college in the 23 legal states, and we're going to host cannabis-based parties. And, Buds will sponsor them. We'll bring in local live music and things like that, and we'll host these parties and bring people out. Admission will be free. The only thing that they have to do is be a user. Just be a Buds user.
Right.
That's all we ask. And then come out and party with us and come smoke, drink on us, have a good time.
I'm really glad you said that as an answer. And it's ironic if you think about it that you're promoting an online app, but the way to market it is to physically go out there and network with people face to face, palm to palm.
Yeah.
Where if you think about, 30, 40 years ago, it was all about that was the only way to market. And if you had access to technology, you were on the cutting edge. Well, now technology is pretty much dime a dozen. And the way to actually get your product out there is to go old school and start meeting people face to face.
Get in front of them. Absolutely. And like I said, we're doing this marketing plan with Raw. We're doing the marketing plan with Terror Gang. We're going to launch this EP. We're going to have a single to give out. We're going to have stickers. There'll be T-shirts and door prizes. And just travel around and let people know, hey, we're out there. Hey, this is what we're doing, and get people to add users. Nobody wants to be the only person in their town with the app.
Right.
So the only way we can do that is if we get hundreds of people to add it at one time, and that's what we're going to do.
Right. I mean, it is Buds. It's not just what's the singular form of buddy?
Nobody wants to be that only guy on the, I've been that guy before where I've gotten on like Badu or one of these, social networking apps, and I'm out in the middle of nowhere traveling, and I get on there to try to find somebody to hang out with, and it's like there's nobody in 50 miles of me, and I'm like, man.
Right.
And that's not because they're not there. It's because they don't know the app exists. So what we're going to do is we're going to alleviate that. We're going to go out there and we're going to make sure everybody has it. Then we're going to tell you to use it.
Like the first days of the internet or the first days of the fax machine, it takes a while before you actually have somebody to interact with. I mean, once that happens, it's everywhere. I could see where the future of this app is developed into, where it just has automatic pinging going on as you're walking by somebody's house. It just automatically notifies you that, hey, so-and-so in 403 there is, is on the Buds list, even without you asking for the request, and, just building a network around you, showing your community at all times.
Just, hey, this is what's going on. People are looking to smoke and things like that. The other cool thing that we're doing is instead of letting anybody and everybody comment on your profile, number one, we don't allow you to tell anybody anything about yourself other than your age, your sex, and your location. There's no about me. There's no, I'm a really chill person, because we believe that's tacky. Like everybody's laid back and chill. You know what I mean?
Right. That's an expectation.
So yeah, we don't want any of that. We want other people and what they say about you. And the only way to be able to review someone is to actually spend some time with them. So when you get on the app and you add me and we hang out, if we spend more than an allotted amount of time together in the same proximity, it'll send you an alert and say, hey, listen, what do you think of this person? And you can go ahead and tag me that way. But that's only if you message me and we've had some type of response. It's not just, you're not just going to walk by somebody who's going to be like, hey, review them. You have to actually have had some conversation with them and then spend some time online with them, and then it'll ask you if you want to go ahead and leave a comment. At that point, you can go ahead and grade. And
yeah, I was thinking like a proximity thing that, if swipe left or whatever the actual application is to meet up with somebody, that once you're connected, that a timer starts going, right? And then after you spent 15, 20 minutes with them, then you've officially qualified for a review. Once the two phones somehow can see that you're within an actual physical proximity of that person, or maybe the microphone maybe turns on to pick up, are these people talking together? Just the phones transferring information back and forth, and something that really validates that these people know each other and they've spent some time together.
Oh yeah. Well, what they'll do is you'd have to message them. And then you have to spend the allotted amount of time within the same proximity to them. And the proximity is going to be very, very, very limited, couch space,
right?
Essentially, or the same home.
Maybe it should be like the app, the Bump app, where once the people meet up, then they have to touch phones so the information can transfer and start the process. Just like when you want to transfer somebody's phone with a Bump type app, that there has to be a physical contact of a touching of the two phones. Yeah. So how did you come about this? What is your background? Is your background in app development? Is your background in cannabis?
Well, I was A+ certified out of high school, and then I went into the military. I came out of the military, and I fell in love with cannabis. I lived out in California for a little while. I did some work out there. I moved back to the district to work with the district when they did medical marijuana and things like that, lobbying with Congress. I've stood shoulder to shoulder with some of the biggest names in marijuana here in D.C., including Montel Williams, the mayor of D.C. at the time, which was, I believe, Adrian Fenty. We opened up the first store in D.C. It was called We Grow. It's a California-based business. We opened up the first franchise in the District of Columbia. It allowed people to come in and buy hydroponics equipment and things like that. We offered classes and education. And after that, I opened up my own business called Grow Roots, which is a cannabis-based consulting business. I go out and do build-outs and grow closets and things like that for people in the district who are medical and need caretakers or the such. And then I just branched out from there and said, this is an app that needs to be developed, and we moved on from there.
Have you always been an entrepreneurial type person, or is this something that's developed recently?
I've always worked for myself. I can't do the 9-to-5 thing. It's not for me. I desire more out of life to help people than to just work at a job and do exactly what I'm told. I need to do more.
Does this mean, is this where you stay now for the next 30 years and this is your business, or is this one of many ideas that you would like to pursue in the future?
Oh, no, I 100% plan to diversify. I want to actually move out and start producing in Colorado and managing farms. And kind of regress a little bit in my lifestyle and go back to what I was doing, which was caretaking and growing and things like that, because I found myself most at home outside. But I feel like this is going to get me there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, especially if you get
I have my life goal. My life goal is to retire by 35, so I don't see myself doing too much.
Well, how far are you off from that?
I'm 28, so I just turned 28 this summer. Yep.
So just a few more years, another seven.
I've got some time.
What did you do in the military?
I was a combat engineer and communications specialist. So
okay, excellent.
I did, everything the EOD does, combat engineers do, but they do it without the suit.
So is there
pretty much go in with a stick and a helmet.
Is there going to be an app that is specific or somehow niched off to be a buds for military, or a buds for vets or something along those lines also?
Well, we've thought about doing some things like that, but we're not hard and stone. I guess we're kind of, if we see a demand for it or we notice that there's a lot of military vets that are out there doing that, then we probably will move that way. We might just, for the heck of it, if we have the extra money. But at this point, we don't have plans to launch anything. We do have a sister app that we're working on. It's kind of in the backs on the drawing board that we've got patents on. That's called Mary Jane, MARRYJANE, and that will be the Buds dating. Okay. So if Buds is for smokers, the dating app, if we see a demand for it, we're going to launch, and that'll be called Mary Jane. So that's more of a find your soulmate type thing.
I get it. Perfect name. Perfect name.
Right? You know, it's all about the name.
Well, what else? What else did we not talk about that you wanted to get out about your Buds app here?
Well, just that it is coming. It is definitely coming. It'll be there.
You're more than welcome to come back as things move along. Give us updates. When you hit Colorado land over here, make sure to let us know so we can meet in person and maybe hook up at some events. Just yeah, and just make you part of my community out here of the Cannabis Community Project.
I'm looking at moving to Colorado myself. I've been looking out there.
Well, if you need to come check out places beforehand, come on out. There's a lot going on. Houses are getting expensive. Rent's getting expensive. A lot of people are coming to town, but that's a good
I've
thing.
noticed. You know what drives me crazy with you guys out there is water rights. I'd never heard of water rights until I started price shopping in Colorado and looking at houses, and I was like, what is this? This is a whole different world I've got to figure out now.
Yeah, well, I mean, these are the lands of farmers and ranchers. I mean, when you get to the land where people are farming and ranching, water becomes more valuable than gold and oil. Yeah,
it's crazy. So when I got out there and I started looking at it, and I was like, what are water rights? And they were like, oh, that's a whole different can of worms. And I was like, okay. Like I spent a whole day talking to a realtor just about how water rights work and where to get good property, where not to get good property, soil quality. It was crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, water rights is equivalent to any type of mineral rights where just because you own the land doesn't mean you own the water. And, there's just a lot going on with it. I mean, when you have a state and a whole region, pretty much the whole West, that's based on ranching and farming, and then you have a scarcity of a supply of water, there's going to be some issues. We have yet to see how that's going to work out, and hopefully more entrepreneurs will come out with better products to help mitigate what's going on with the water situation.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, I'm a firm believer in hydroponics and stuff like that, and it requires a lot of water, but I'm also a firm believer in rain catchment and other, things like that you can do to stay green and stay off the radar, so to speak. I'm a limited footprint kind of person. So.
Right. Absolutely. Well, cool, man. Why don't you give out your contact information where if anybody wants to reach out to you, maybe talk about ideas, collaboration, or something else, they can get a hold of you. What's your contact information?
The best way to reach me is my email. That's AdamRich, AdamRich, at mybuds.app.com. That's by far the best way to contact me, and we are absolutely open to ideas. We're open to new people. If there's a tech developer or somebody out there that wants to get in and get their hands in on the ground floor, we'd love to hear from people who want to come to work, because we're definitely looking to hire people and looking to bring people on early and build together.
Cool, man. Well, when this gets out on my show, which will probably be a couple weeks, it'll probably be a couple weeks before I'm able to get this out. People will hear it, and you send me all your links, and I'll reshare it on my social media. Make sure to connect with me personally also on any social media, so I have you, just right there, always in the name list. And,
if you're on, are you on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn.
All right, I'll chase you down there.
Thanks for listening to this week's show. Make sure to come back next week. We're going to have more guests lined up, speaking with dispensary owners, growers, business owners. Make sure to follow us on all of the social media, Facebook, Google+. You can listen to our shows live from the website or your preferred listening platform. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spreaker, even YouTube, all under the same name, CannabisCommunityProject.com. We'll see you next week.
This is a cannabis community project, yeah. Oh, this is the cannabis community project, yeah. Oh, we help people, try to bring them all together, try to show them that they can make it every day in their own kind of way. This is the Cannabis Community Project. Oh, yeah.